All right, you were Scott Cuthbert of the Independent
Scott's
papers.
always ready.
Scott, you obviously this is not the kind of shady indie game that used to be, when everybody would have been trotting out their ace, trying to win this game.
It's a little different. I mean, when I first started, we were different sides, regions. I can't remember classes, but so we didn't put the importance of it. And tonight was similar. And it didn't help with the way we scheduled and stuff. So
Who made that schedule?
I was the dummy that made that schedule, but it is what it is.
Right,
I mean,
right.
but I thought we battled. I really was pleased with. I actually, I know it looks bad, but I thought both my young kids threw decent.
Right.
We had trouble. If we could have made a play or two behind them, it's a whole different ball
Yeah, they
game.
didn't
We
get
made a
that.
couple mistakes
Yeah.
at bad times, and that happens. I mean, people get the mad. Kids are kids; they're going to screw up. But but we battled back a little bit there. So if you take away the 6-run inning, it's a whole different ball game.
Well,
that
that
was the killer.
inning, Cutter Boggs hit his first career home run. He hadn't been really hitting the ball early in the season, and I guess
He had a good night tonight.
I was going to ask you about him. He picked tonight to come out.
Yeah, he hit real good tonight. Their top's pretty tough. Their first four's real strong. Now they're as good as anybody we've seen so far. First four, and they run and stuff, and we're playing game 4, and we've been off for a week, so it makes it tough too. The way the schedule worked out, we lost games over spring break. Oh, stay in the ball yard. Okay, but so we'll have to see.
Baseball's expensive.
Obviously, tomorrow's game and the game after that, Wyoming East and James Monroe hold a lot more importance than tonight's because they're region games.
Yeah, I mean nowadays with the way this seeding thing works, regional games are big. To be honest, Midland Trail last night was more important than beating Shsdy.
Right.
So that's the way you got to try to look at it. I told the kids that at the beginning of the year. I said, look, our schedule's hard. I want it to be hard because I want them ready by the end of the year. But at the same time, I said, out of all them games, there's I don't remember how many teams in our region. I said, them are the most important ones. I said, the rest of them are, they're important, but they're not like them first
Well,
ones.
likelihood is you're going to see both Lester, Jaden Lester from Wyoming East, and then Caden Hines from James Monroe, probably two of the best pitchers in the area.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's going to really. You look at that as a gauge, or do you just?
Yeah, well, I mean, too, like, if you're looking at the big picture, that's the type of arms you got to beat if you want to try to go
Right,
far anyway. So
Yeah. So the gauge part.
So
then,
I mean, I just soon, if I scheduled them this week and next week, I was going to see them both anyway. So, I mean, the way I look at it, you need more than one arm to win anyway. So, I don't care to play them back to back. It's just, it's sort of like what you would play at the end of the year.
I should
It
mention
happened to be
too, you're
earlier.
going to have your aces as well.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I
for
want to
those
have, I kept. We kept arms ready, and I just hope guys throw strikes and we make plays tomorrow.
Do you feel like, the way I kind of took this game was it was a good chance for your young kids on the mound to play in a
No
tough
pressure.
environment against a good team,
Yeah.
kind of what it'll be like in a postseason.
Yeah, it was good to see. That was Braylon's first start, and that's KJ's first time pitching.
Right.
So
Is it true Braylon only pitched an inning in a scrimmage game? That was
he
his only
pitched.
action?
He pitched like a third of an inning in Tennessee. He closed out the last game, but yeah, he threw an inning in the second scrimmage. KJ threw an inning in the second scrimmage. This is only our
Really,
second
this is their
JV
first
game.
big
Right.
experience against a pretty
And
good
they have
against
to
a
throw
club.
them in against a big team in a rivalry type game that sometimes people make bigger than what it should be.
Right.
Well, Kendrick did allude to the fact. Look at how many people were here.
Oh
Boy,
yeah,
I mean, it was
yeah,
a good crowd
Yeah, at
tonight.
the beginning of the night there was, and it's trying to convince some of our people at school today. They were all excited about this game. And they asked me, I was like, to be honest, it don't matter as much as tomorrow. I'd rather you come Thursday and Friday, but
Yeah, you might need them more in those region
Hopefully the weather
games.
comes
but
in
we'll
on
see.
Thursday
It's supposed to be a
and Friday,
little warmer, hopefully.
Hey, Scotty, appreciate you, man.
buddy.
No problem.